Folks, how you doing? Um, Today we can talk about, or I should say this evening, time of this recording here, about what is a live scan. Now, I'm going to take this session here from two different perspectives. From a customer's point of view, their position on it, and their thoughts on it, their beliefs, and also the technician's perspective on it, their points of view on what it is. So, let me ask you guys a question right now. What comes to mind when you think of live scan fingerprinting? What's the first thing come to mind? Something like this, a device that captures the person's fingerprints on an electronic device. That's pretty much the definition of a live scan. When somebody comes to you or the applicant goes to them and you capture, the fingerprints are captured on a live scan device. Now, the dilemma is, once your fingerprints, if you're the applicant, or once the fingerprints are captured on the device, you're the technician, what happens next? And we can talk about that. Okay, what happens next? So those out there who's seeking to get a live scan done or some type of fingerprinting, there's certain things you should be asking the agency who's telling you to get the background check done. You may be trying to get a license, or the applicant may try to get a license in a state like for Georgia, for example, and on the paperwork gives them live scan instructions. But some places on that paperwork also talk about an alternate if you're not in that state. But say you haven't read the instructions, or the applicant didn't read the instructions, and the technicians notify, say, hey, I need a live scan done, because in your mind, you just left Georgia, you need a live scan done, could try and go back to Georgia, get your nursing license, for example. And you call someplace near you in a different state, like California, say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Technician, I need a live scan. Because you're thinking, this is what Georgia's asking for, which makes sense. Now, from perspective of the technician, they're thinking, great, this person needs a California live scan because they're in California and they told me I need a live scan. Is that the best assumption all the time? Should you take the position all the time? Now, if you're a technician, we recommend you have some probing questions. For example, great, you need a live scan. Or you should be thinking this person needs a background check. What state is the live scan for? You may get one or two answers. It's for California, stupid. This is what they're thinking. I'm in California, the California live scan. Or perhaps you might say, this live scan I need is for a different state. If you don't ask that particular question, you're going to have so many different issues down the line, or customers be upset because you didn't ask the right question because they feel like you took advantage of them. You gave them some type of live scan, but it's not accepted for the state of Georgia if the person trying to get the background check done for Georgia. So when people say, I need a live scan, everybody should come to mind like, okay, then that means electronic fingerprinting. What happens once the fingerprints are captured on the live scan device? A couple of things could happen. Does a technician hit the print button and take those fingerprints from the live scan device and print it on the ink card? Does a technician go ahead and archive those prints and save them for a rainy day, for one reason or another? Does a technician transmit these fingerprints to the state they reside in? For example, if I'm a live scan technician, I'm using a California live scan machine, I'm going to transmit to California if they give me a California live scan form. But if you're the applicant and you present this California technician with a Georgia live scan paperwork or Illinois live scan paperwork, for another good example, they can't help you because their software is designed for California. So when you folks are told to get a background check, or you've been told that this applicant needs a background check, you guys should ask some more probing questions. Mr. and Mrs. Requesting Agency, I need a license for Georgia, by being California or reside in California. Is there some things I could do besides fly to Georgia for a live scan? Is there something else I could do? In most cases, yes. You may now apply as an out-of-state applicant where you may have some type of leeway where now you can go to the provider that's fingerprinting in California and they can capture your fingerprints on the ink card. And then you can take the ink card with you, Mr. and Mrs. Applicant, and you can send them off to the requesting agency for a different state. Or you may find a place near you that's live scan. They input all that data, they fingerprint you, and they print out that button to give you your ink card where you can transmit, where you can send off to a different state for a background check. Live scan just means electronic fingerprinting, but sometimes people get confused because certain states call everything live scan. For example, Arizona is a good example, where a lot of folks say, yes, I do live scan, but they're really printing out on ink cards. There's certain states like Arizona allow people to do both ways, ink card or actual live scan transmission to their state if they reside in that state, if the technician is transmitting within that state. So what is a live scan? It means electronic fingerprinting, where the prints can be captured on this device and archived for one reason or another, or they can be transmitted to the state that live scan device is certified to transmit to, or they could be printed on an ink card and hand the applicant the ink card. All right. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Technician, they're gonna call you sometimes and say, hey, I got a biometric letter, I need biometric fingerprinting. What does that mean to you? Or you're the applicant, you got this letter from an organization says, hey, you need to get this biometric fingerprinting done, here's your biometric letter. In most cases, when a person says biometric letter, they might be referring to, a strong possibility they could be referring to getting fingerprinted at an immigration center, because in most cases, the immigration center provides these individuals a letter called a biometric letter. And on the biometric letter, the applicant has instructions to schedule an appointment at a designated location. Per the instructions on that paperwork, they get fingerprinted. Now, they maybe get fingerprinted on the live scan device and transmitted in for the for background check, or perhaps they might get fingerprinted on ink cards. Who knows? Each agency for immigration may do things a little bit differently, but just keep in mind, if the applicant or you, the applicant, says it says biometric letter, in most cases, you might have to go to the immigration center per the instructions on the paperwork. And if you are the technician, clarify with them, do you have any instructions with you? When they call you, say, I need live scan done, great. What state is the live scan required by? You guys should be writing this down, okay? Should be taking good notes, because this will help you learn more about what's going on out there to get more revenue and also to better serve your customers. And for the customers out there watching the video also, always clarify when requesting agency, if it's a live scan and you reside in a particular state and you try to get this live scan done for a different state versus the one that you're currently in, find out from your requesting agency, the one that's telling you get the background check done. Ask them, do they need ink card fingerprinting be okay? Or does it have to be a live scan? And if so, where can I get this done? Because I'm out of the state at this time. Now, if they live in Florida and they have and try to get the background check while they're in Florida, they're fine. If they live in California and try to get a live scan done for the state of California requirement because they gave them a live scan request form, that's fine. But if you're in California and you're an applicant, make sure you bring in with you your live scan request form that should be given to you from the requesting agency or from the requesting agency's website. Represent 3 copies in most cases to the live scan technician in California. There's always a big gap sometime at the communication. And so when you ask these questions to the technician, be patient, and they should have patience in working with you. If they have no patience, run fast to another location could treat you a lot more respect. If you are the technician, be patient with the client who's calling you, because all they know is live scan is this. And a lot of people believe that this one device you have in your particular state is good for the whole country, that you should tell them what type of paperwork that they need. You should have all this stuff memorized. because you do fingerprinting. I just need a background check for a job. I just need a background check to volunteer at the school. Ask the right questions in a professional way and explain to the customer why you're asking certain questions for everybody coming to a complete understanding why to better serve them. It's called bridging the gap. Okay, then try to avoid disconnects out there, bridge the gap, work with each other, clearly communicate what you're trying to get done, and both sides of the sides have some patience. Because one party trying to explain to the other party what's going on, and vice versa. But if you guys have any questions, you know how to reach us with the National Live Skin Association. You guys take care. Bye for now.